Yo, 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 what up? It's your boy MF Pheezy, and I'm back. And we're here for iLList Videos Weekly Roundup, Volume 1. Alright? So come back every week. We're going to try and do a weekly roundup of all the newest news about music, movies, anything. Right now, it's just me. I'm going to give it to you live and direct. Going to have some other people in the future, though. So stay tuned. But as for this week, okay, we're now entering the first week of April. All right, so April Fools, motherfucker. But they ain't gonna find no April Fools in front of this camera. All right. So first things first, we're gonna get into many things. I want to go into the Batman vs Superman. Got to check that out last week, opening night. So I have some thoughts on that. And then also I got to finish Daredevil Season 2, so I'm giving my thoughts on that as well. I then want to talk about some upcoming releases in the theaters that I'm excited about. So that should be fun. And I want to talk about my New York Mets season opening. Alright? I know not everybody's going to be a Met fan that's going to watch this, so I'm going to go a little quick with it. But I'm excited. Motherfucking season starting. I can't wait. I'm hyped. We're going to win the chip this year. Alright? Y'all know it. Returning National League champions. Get it right. Have some respect. Anyway, also I want to get into some music news, some stuff going on. And that'll be pretty much it. So let's jump into it. Alright. So Batman vs Superman came out last weekend. I got to see it that Thursday night. Saw it at Lincoln Center. I love that theater. They got some ill screens, some comfy seats. It wasn't a packed house. I thought it was. I was like, we gotta get there early. My boy was like, you're crazy. I can't do this shit like you do it. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we got there like half hour before, and there was plenty of seats. Now, I think it's pretty much known now, critically, how this movie was received. It wasn't received well at all. Okay, movies like this, sometimes it relies on good critical acclaim because some people, people don't really like to just, movies are expensive nowadays. People don't like dropping the $20 unless they know that the movie is going to be awesome to watch in theaters. Otherwise, they're just going to wait for it to come out on DVD. Let's be honest, all right? So, for this movie, I think that, people were really excited for it. First trailer was ill. Second trailer showed way too much. They showed Doomsday. They showed Wonder Woman. They, gave all these bunch of lines, pretty much beat for beat, each scene. I mean, people were pissed off. I was pissed off, And then the third trailer came out, which was pretty cool. And then they showed, like, a scene, a Batman scene, him coming in a fucking warehouse, kicking the shit out of everybody, and just slamming people into the floor, and people were like, yeah, that's Batman, baby. That shit is awesome. But, and it was. Let me get into the movie. So the movie starts with, Bruce Wayne's origin again, his parents getting killed. We've seen it a million times. I wouldn't have had much of a problem with them doing it again if they had just done it a little quicker. Zack Snyder, the director, he likes, he's a visual artist, this guy, and you got to respect that to a certain extent. But each shot is kind of drawn out and very, artistic, which I get, but it didn't need to be that way for that one scene. All right, didn't because we've all seen that scene before, even artistically done, more or less. We've seen it 1,000 times, whether it be in cartoons, movies, comic books. So, didn't need to happen like that. But it did. What's funny was I saw it with my friend and his, and we had another, his friend that we were with, and his friend had popped a Molly. All right, so for all you kids don't understand, don't worry about it. But for all my peeps that do understand, she popped a Molly, and she was going through it during this movie. Now, this movie is dark. It's dreary. There's nothing happy about this movie, Okay, you can't go into this movie being like, oh, it's like a Marvel movie. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna, root for these characters, and there's the good guy and the bad guy. And I mean, there is that to some extent in this, but it's I think what they're trying to do is make it more realistic and this and that, and make the characters more realistic and make characters more gray instead of like white and black. And I get that, but this movie was dark as fuck. Okay, this movie was dark as hell, and it was hard. It was hard to root for anybody, whether it been Batman, Superman, any of these characters. Like, and the characters weren't developed much. I mean, the movie goes boom, 0 to 100. I mean, it introduces things, and then the editing was all sorts of messed up. Everybody knows that. Look, overall, certified ill. Okay, the movie's certified ill. It's a cool movie. It has its moments that are really fucking awesome. Okay, but the filmmaking in general, like if you're looking at it from a critical point of view, the filmmaking in general just wasn't that good. I mean, it jumps around, it's really fast, it's a lot of anxiety, it's just really dark and dreary, and it's kind of an empty feeling with a lot of things and some of the characters. To get back to what I was saying, my friend's friend popped Molly sitting through this dreary ass movie, and at some point, I mean, the movie was so long. It was 2 hours and like 45 minutes or something like that. But 2 hours into this movie, this girl had enough. She just, like, her stomach felt sick. She just felt sick from watching it and had to go. My boy was like, I gotta go. I gotta help her out. I'm like, I feel you. But I've been waiting fucking 30 years for this movie. Ain't no way I'm leaving. So have fun with that. But I'm gonna finish this off. And it was weird, but up until that point, that movie was just kind of like, oh my god, each scene was just really dark and just a lot going on. But not too much action and superhero action, really, up until that 2 hour point, maybe a little bit before that. And there was definitely some scenes sprinkled here and there, but not until that 2 hour mark, really, when it was like you got to that third act, that last part, where it just was all superheroes. You fucking, Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg. Just didn't work for me, man. I wasn't feeling that. Superman character. I mean, the director obviously has no clue how to handle Superman. Superman, it was just dark, dreary character, just threatening people and just like really sad and this and that. I don't like my Superman like that. I like my Superman like as a dude who, in spite of the whole world being dark, he's the one dude that's like, nope, not gonna get me down. I'm gonna keep fighting and keep making things happy and shit. Okay, that's what I like. I'm not saying that that's what the movie had to be, but Superman should have been like that. Batman was done awesome. Ben Affleck is distracting as Batman. I'm sorry. I know he did a great job. He did as great a job as he could have done, but it was just freaking distracting. That's why I don't like big name actors cast in superhero roles. I like to be able to lose myself in that character, just like Marvel does great casting. I gotta be honest. They do great casting to the point that, these actors lose themselves in the role. And I see the actors, I see the characters. It's crazy. I see Chris Evans walking the red carpet. I'm like, look, it's fucking Captain America walking the red carpet. I don't see that with Ben Affleck. I see Ben Affleck on screen as Batman. So that's just that. But Batman was awesome, but he was killing. I'm not down with that. All right? I mean, I get it. You want to show an older Batman who's been through some shit and he lost Robin and all that. I just feel like you could have fleshed that part out a little bit more to show what made Batman become a killing machine. Because if you're going to reboot Batman and put him in the first movie, I mean, you're just putting a new Batman out there that kills. So that just tells people like, yeah, I'll make a Batman and he kills. And it's just like, yo, you're messing with the psychology and the background, nature of these characters. So fans are not going to be too thrilled. Otherwise they teasing the Justice League. Wonder Woman, I love seeing Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot, she didn't show much of anything to show me that she can carry this character and a film on her own. I'm sorry. I know people love seeing her, and I love seeing Wonder Woman with the lasso and the motherfucking, oh shit, spoilers galore. I should have said that earlier, but yeah. But the lasso and the shield and smiling while she's fighting and shit, and my Wonder Woman would be a little more focused, a little more warrior-ish, not so like, hello, I'm Wonder Woman, and yes, I have a shield, I'll fight if I have to. No, not with it. it was all style over substance, in my opinion. But those parts were really cool. Like seeing those fights. And Doomsday kind of sucked, but he played his part, which was that big bad that they all had to do. Spoiler, biggest spoiler there is: Spider-Man. Spider-Man, shit. I'm still on that Civil War trailer, which was crazy. Anyway, but Superman gives himself up to kill Doomsday, which was like, okay. I didn't even feel nothing when it happened. You know, Batman and Superman fought, and it was like, yeah, Batman won. Okay, had this dude like at his throat, was about to kill him, and then it's like, you know, and Superman just like, save my mama, Martha, please. And he's like, what? Your mom's name is Martha? My mom's name is Martha. What? That's crazy. Like, okay, your mom won't die today, buddies. And that was that scene that we saw, which I saw the whole scene of, which was awesome, but I saw the whole scene of it already in the trailers. Was that Batman scene going in the warehouse saving Superman's mom and then being like, I'm a friend of your son. Like, you kidding me? You had a freaking kryptonite spear at his neck like 5 minutes ago, dog. You're a friend of him? Like, okay, all right. So it was moving just a million miles a second. You know, the director had no intention of fleshing some of these things out. And just wanted to move to the dawn of justice, really, I think. And, you know, so Superman died. They had a funeral for Clark and Superman, which even worse than killing Superman, they killed Clark Kent, which didn't happen in the comics when they killed Superman. Superman was missing in the battle of Superman. So it was like, okay, you know, they brought him back eventually. You know, it was explainable. But now you just had a funeral for Clark Kent. Like, yeah, we have his body. You know, we have a funeral for him. I don't get, man. And then, you know, the last shot of the movie was the coffin in the ground, and, you know, the dust and rubble starts to lift off of the coffin, which was to show, I guess, that Superman's still alive. Obviously. Come on. So Zack Snyder's doing Justice League, which is going to start shooting soon. Should be out next year, and I guess Superman's going to come back. What is he going to come back as? I don't know. Look, I was disappointed with this movie. I'm giving it certified eel. I'm giving it a certified eel because, you know, because it was fun to see these characters all together on the screen, and there were certain parts of it that was really satisfying, really cool. Like that last fight, just one woman doing a thing, that Batman scene. Around it, they showed some of the Justice League, but it was kind of like, I don't know, overhyped. But it wasn't a horrible movie. It just wasn't all that good, really. But certified ill. And that's about it. That's my review of the movie. I mean, I know I probably sound like I'm jumping on a bandwagon or something, which I mean, it's not that I'm jumping on a bandwagon. It's just, you know, when a lot of people have the same sort of gripes about a film in a situation like this, you know, you got to look at the film and say, hey, you know, like, you know, everyone has a point. They're not pulling, you know, it's not like one person pulled this out of their ass and then everyone was like, yeah. And look, I know I'm a Marvel fan, but I was looking forward to this movie. I love Superman. I love Batman. All right, I got a lot of love for Wonder Woman. I love Green Lantern. All right. I love fucking Martian Manhunter. Like, I'm not a DC hater, so I wanted this to succeed. They just needed a different director, and hopefully soon they get Zack Snyder out of there, and they get a character, you know, director in there, somebody, you know, who's willing to put the work in for these characters, not just the visual moments. They do that, man, I think they'll be good. You know, I think Zack Snyder set up a visual tone for them that'll work. You know, with another director coming in and fleshing it out more, you know, like giving it more substance. I think they'll be on par, on track, you know, because Marvel's already on track, and they're on a track running like Jesse Owens, you know, so that's that. That's my review of Batman vs. Superman. Sorry if anybody gonna hate on me or whatever, but, you know, regardless, if you're hating on me or whatever, you know, click the damn subscribe button. Or hit me up on Twitter at Pheezy Presents, PheezyUSChrist on Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know what you think. You think I'm a fucking idiot? Tell me. I don't care. Just, let's open up a conversation for it. I'm ready. All right. Now, we gotta go night and day right here because we're going to Daredevil season 2. Finished the whole season pretty much a few days after it was released. If y'all watched my last video, I was at the premiere in New York City, watched the first 2 episodes in the theater with the cast and crew. It was fucking awesome. Alright? As for the rest of the season, motherfucking awesome. Certified illest. Okay? One of the best superhero TV shows put on screen, okay? If not the best. Probably the best. My man John Bernthal killed it as the Punisher. You know, had some crazy scenes. Charlie Cox killed it as Daredevil again this season. Even looked even better in the costume this season. I love that, because at the end of last season, that last episode with him in the costume was a little cheeseball, but they had him in costume the whole season, and it worked. It was ill, okay? Elodie Young as Elektra, awesome. I thought she was going to be kind of whack. I remember her from G.I. Joe. I was like, it could be like shitty actress. But no, she was Elektra. I mean, for the most part, I think they changed a little bit of things with her, but nothing that took her, that didn't feel like a variation of the character. It felt like, you know, an Elektra, you know? Maybe not the, you know, specific Elektra from Marvel Comics and Frank Miller lore, but, you know, it was Elektra, alright? So bloody, so gory, this freaking movie, this show. I mean, they took it to another level this season, and it was awesome. I love it. I mean, you know, people shit on Marvel because it's like, you know, I know DC fans been getting on Marvel because it's like, yeah, they're not dark enough, this and that, they're Disney do-gooders and all that, and that's why we got DC to bring the hardcore shit, and it's like, you gotta understand, and Marvel gets this. Dark characters get the dark treatment. Light characters get the light treatment. That's just how it goes, okay? And Daredevil and Punisher and Elektra got the dark treatment. They got it, okay? I mean, the Punisher was murking fools, and did it wholeheartedly, you know? That was all we needed, all right? And there were just scenes of, like, Punisher talking with Daredevil, and those were some of the best scenes because it was actors actually acting and, like, fleshing out their characters and, like, in terms of what the difference in their philosophies. You know, that's what you saw. It wasn't just like, you know, I don't know, like plot devices like, your mother's the same as mine, okay, maybe we can have a conversation. No, it was like, you know, I mean, these characters were straight talking about their differences than each other. They had to accept each other for who they were. At the end of the day, they couldn't just sit there and be like, oh, you be me and you be me. I think at the beginning of the season, you know, Punisher's like, you need to become me, and Daredevil's like, no, you need to become me. And I think at some point they came together in a sense like, well, we're this close away from being each other. That's what's crazy. And at the end, they came to terms with who each other was. Like, you're that and I'm this. We can't be different, you know, we can't be the same, so we're going to be different. But it doesn't mean that we can't coexist in the same world. It was crazy. I loved it. It was fucking awesome, man. I mean, this season had ninjas and shit. It had fucking, you know, Daredevil doing, you know, swinging on his freaking billy club. You know, it had fucking Punisher with the skull in his chest with a fucking huge machine gun, and with a whole arsenal of weapons. It had, you know, Stick doing stick shit, you know, and it had freaking Elektra with her size and just slitting throats. I mean, it was awesome, certified illest, okay, certified illest season right there, okay. So I love that Daredevil season 2. Now, as for upcoming Netflix shows that I'm looking forward to Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So the first season, it was funny as hell. Laugh all you want, motherfuckers. But that show was funny. Tina Fey executive produced it. It was very good, very funny. The premise, awesome. It's about a girl who, well, you know, look it up. I'm telling you. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. You got Orange is the New Black coming, which is always written very well. Great character, comedy / drama. Female jail prison-based show, pretty good. So those are coming up, I think, later this month. Now, as for some upcoming movie releases that I'm excited for, there's a few, not too many, but Jungle Book is coming out in a few weeks. Really looking forward to that. I heard some good things about that. Some really good things. I heard Idris Elba as the villain of the movie kills it. Like, really kills it. So there's that. Also want to see Everybody Wants Some, which is a Richard Linklater film. He also did Dazed and Confused, and this movie, if you've seen Dazed and Confused, this is like the spiritual sequel to it. I always love coming of age stories, so I'm gonna look forward to that. Hopefully, it should be funny. So I'm gonna check that out. I think that just came out this week, and coming out next week, there's a movie that I really want to see called Hardcore Henry, which is all shot in first person, so it's like a video game, first person view kind of game. And I heard it's like non-stop action, just craziness. Looks really fun, like really nuts. Balls to the wall type of movie. I really want to see this, and I think a lot of people that are kind of like me would really enjoy this movie. It's supposedly it's not. I've been telling people about it, and a lot of people haven't even heard of it. So, you know, go out there, look this up. Hardcore Henry. Look up the trailer. It is crazy. It's bananas. It looks awesome. It looks like it might give you a headache because of the first-person view type of thing. But otherwise, like, that movie looks awesome. But yeah, that's that. Now, okay, I gotta talk about my Mets real quick. It's opening season weekend, baby. That's right, Saturday. No, I'm sorry, Sunday. Okay, the Mets open up against the Kansas City Royals, which is a rematch of the World Series from last year. Now, I mean, I love it. You know, it's going to be awesome. You know, Royals kicked the shit out of the Mets at the end of the season last season in the World Series. No doubt about that. I love my Mets. I'm a die-hard Met fan. Okay, no love lost for the Yankees. New York represent, baby. But the Mets, talking about representing, the Mets represented New York very well in the season and off-season last year. It's just in the World Series, the Royals were a better team. And the Mets made a couple of upgrades here and there. Lost Daniel Murphy, re-signed Yoenis Cespedes, but they got that young pitching. So game one starts Matt Harvey, who had a couple of hiccups here and there. I think he had a bladder problem going on, but supposedly it didn't stop him, and it's not going to stop him. He's starting game one. Game two is Noah Syndergaard, who's become a beast. Thor, I love him. I love it. I'm going to get my Thor shirt out and represent. Next video, I'll wear. Anyway, and if any of y'all like my gear, I'm rocking this Basquiat MoMA shirt. Gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? You know, information, NY hat. Get it, baby. It's gear, baby. Representing. Now the Mets, in terms of their preseason, it was kind of a weak preseason. They could have done a lot better. But preseason is just for getting everybody into playing shape. So I never look at it too hard. But their offense is really cold for the last 2 weeks of the season. It was bad. I don't even think they won a game in the last 2 weeks of the off season. I mean, of the preseason. So they got to get their offense going. I just know how it works though. Once game one starts, it's off. You know, it goes from okay, we'll just get our work in to let's get it going. Let's win these games. So I'm excited as hell to see these two games, Sunday and Monday. Harvey, Syndergaard going up against the Royals. Let's see if the Mets can show them something that they didn't see at the end of the World Series last year. Let's show them. Let's show them that we learned from the experience. Let's go Mets, baby. Let's do it. Anyway, that's that, because I know not everybody's Met fans. Nobody wants to hear it. As for the Knicks suck. I think they got eliminated from playoff contention this past week, and that was bad. That whatever's going on with them is just sad, because this is the mecca of basketball. Okay, Madison Square Garden is legendary in basketball history, and these Knicks are just embarrassing. I would love it if they could make some changes at some point in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and become what they were. Get me more interested in basketball again. But for right now, man, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And Brooklyn Nets, you know. Anyway, the only people holding it down for basketball right now is Golden State Warriors. I mean, they're having a magical season. I mean, they're incredibly fun to watch. They won the chip last year. I don't see why they wouldn't win the chip this year. The only thing would be crazy is if they didn't win the chip this year. That would be such an upset. And if they don't, who does win it, right? So this offseason is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch them and see how they perform. Are they gonna run through everybody just like they did all season, or are they gonna actually, when the games really count, it's gonna be a little tougher for them? We'll see. It's gonna be fun. Now, on to music news. Okay, Faith Evans has come out and recently said that they're working on a BIG hologram. So if you know, a few years ago, I think it was Coachella, they had a Tupac hologram, which is pretty freaking cool. I assume it's actually a lot more cooler in person. I never got to see it in person. I only saw a video. I would love to see a fucking Biggie hologram in person. That'd be ill, certified ill. I guess that's on its way. And also that there's a Biggie Duets album. I don't know if it's duets with just her and other artists, but it's another Biggie album. I'm with it. It's about time. Biggie needs to, stay current. I think some of the younger generation is starting to not appreciate people like Biggie and Pac as much, and some of the older generations. So I think we need some of that in our lives. Brooklyn represent, Washington Ave. Now, on to the next story. Lil Wayne is suing Universal for some ends on some of his artist projects that I guess money he hasn't received from some Lil Wayne, Drake, other artists. Supposedly he hasn't gotten any dough, not any, but hasn't got all the dough from that is owed to him, and I guess he's out for some money. So pay up, Universal. What's going on, right? Now, also this week, Hamburger Helper dropped a mixtape that was actually kind of fun. It was pretty ill. He was talking about mixing it up in the kitchen. It was pretty funny. It was an April Fool's joke. So you might want to check. I think it was like a 6-track helping. So go check. Pun intended. Hamburger Helping. So go check that out. Kanye West artists to look out for. Designer is creeping up the charts a little bit. He's pretty ill. He can rap, you know what I'm saying, and do a lot of things. Very talented dude. So look out for that dude. And last but not least, I gotta give a rest in peace shout out to my man Phife Diggy. All right, Phife Dog from the Tribe Called Quest. My prayers and thoughts go out to his family. And friends and the whole hip-hop community, especially the conscious hip-hop community, to the whole tribe. I always loved Phife. He was the dirty version of, the dirty man in a Tribe Called Quest. He always had ill bars and just ill punchlines, and everybody loves, and I love it too, man. It was one of my favorites. The Siemens Furniture line. I mean, I love it. Every time it comes on, I'm like, I gotta rock it. So, much love to Phife. If anybody gets a chance, there's a documentary that that was made a few years ago about Tribe Called Quest. I forgot what it's called, but if you look it up, there was a documentary about Tribe Called Quest a few years ago, and it went into their history and then the trials and tribulations, sort of in terms of the personal relationships between Phife Dawg and Q-Tip, and just tribe in general, and sort of like different paths that each of the members were taking, and how Phife and Tip had some history weren't getting along at a certain point, and it was kind of sad and unfortunate to see those things. And even in the documentary, you get to see a little bit of documentation of Phife Dawg's health problems and health troubles. So, you know, I think towards the end of the documentary, he was going in for a surgery of sorts or something, and he hadn't heard from Tip in a while. And on the day of surgery, Tip had texted him, wished him luck and everything, and it meant a lot to Phife. And you could see visually, emotionally, how it affected him, and it was one of those really human moments for A Tribe Called Quest was a group that, if you're from New York City, you always looked up to, and they represent perfectly fine. They are a staple in hip hop history. They are still relevant. Q-Tip is still relevant. Tribe Called Quest is still relevant. Phife Dawg is still relevant. Okay, and it was just cool to see that kind of thing. To see these legends being human. It's always great to see. So go check that out. I could, maybe in the comments, if anybody asks, I'll drop the name of the thing so people can go really, find a way to see it. But yeah, rest in peace, Phife Dawg. You're in heaven. You will be missed. All right. Hopefully, there's some young guns out there that can now, just off of, the news of your passing, can listen to your music and be able to, become inspired and motivated by you and your sound, and maybe you can inspire a new generation of conscious rap, because God knows we need it. Because here in New York, we got people doing trap music, which is crazy because there ain't a damn trap in New York, period. Ain't. We got the blocks, B. We got the blocks. So, I don't get it. So any New York hip-hop rapper influence that can come out now, I know I appreciate it, and I look for it. So hopefully a lot of these young cats coming up trying to rap do too, and they will. It'll find them at some point. But yeah, that's about it for this weekly review. All right, iLList videos, baby. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All right, and you could look me up at Pheezy Christ on Twitter, PHEEZUSCHRIST. Hit me up, baby. Let's talk. Friend me. Let's go. Let's get these conversations going. I'm loving it. All right. Till then, next week we'll get Volume 2 going. iLList videos, iLList media, baby. MF Pheezy.